Shabbat Shalom, everybody. In the body of Christ, it's a special one today. It's a special day today. It's not a regular day today. This is not a normal Shalom. This is a Shabbat Shalom. Oh, hold on. Kabang! There it is there. All right. Glory be to the Father. We're going to talk about it. Right? Good to see everybody. I'm getting these precepts transferred over really quick and gonna run through a few of those. Correction ain't no punishment. Family, yeah, let's do that one today. And speak a little bit about correction. Right? A lot of us can't stand correction. You know, maybe I'm a little weird or something because I never minded it. In fact, I could always see where you leveling up. I could always see where after correction, you're actually a better man and a better woman. Who would want to be in error and just living in error and not knowing it, right? And you got people around you looking at you, not telling you what's going on, but just shaking their head and saying nothing and saying in their head something like what? Idiot, right? You don't know this. You don't know that. No, they don't know. Nobody's telling them. Nobody's telling them. How they gonna know? That was on you. The thing about this yellow, it attracts bees. But bees are my friend. Don't mind them either. A lot of us are scared of bugs too. Take off down the street trying to get away from a bug, ain't it? Yeah. If you're scared, they're gonna be mad at you. They're like, why you scared? They feel your fear and they attack. Not so much me, because they don't sense fear. They be at home with me. Ain't that strange? Bugs and stuff, man. Butterflies and stuff. I had a butterfly land on my hand and just kick it. You know, butterflies don't trust nobody. All right? They sense fear. Dogs and things like that. Everybody want to jump up on cars. Thanks, I appreciate that. Don't bother him, he won't bother you. And if you're scared, they sense that fear. And they like, why are you scared? What you got to hide, or what do you plan to do to me? Yep, transferring all of these precepts over. Read some of this on this blessed Sabbath. Tap in just a moment. Check in with all of y'all. See if anybody's logged in, ready to go. Right, while we do correction, ain't no punishment. And those people who are not correcting you, they are not friends. I don't know what they are. They're not friends. Hebrews 12, Hebrews 12 in there. How? Woo-hoo. Yeah, we gonna end with that one. Let's end it with that one there. Glory be on to a higher. Bowling pins, we're gonna set them up and we're gonna knock them down. Ain't it crazy? Now, finally, let's log in with y'all over on YouTube. Hey, Delise, I need that thing you was talking about. If you could point me to it. That thing where, oh yeah, they're not gonna show me. They're not gonna suggest my live. I'm on here just looking around and I can see how y'all missing the notifications. I can see it, but I need that thing, Delise, where I could go across Because I'm gonna start including Facebook and Instagram in this. I want to, at least. Yalawan, Shabbat Shalom. Charles Freeman, Shabbat Shalom. Joshua Judah, Shabbat Shalom. Last Letter, Shabbat Shalom. Kamada Ha, Shabbat Shalom. Septi, Shabbat Shalom. Yasharala Freedom, Shabbat Shalom. Yahoo Israel, Shabbat Shalom. Right? Mark AZ, Shabbat Shalom. Lasonia, Shabbat Shalom. Arakla, right? The humble law keeper has her name now. All praise to the Most High. A very firm, solid, but humble Shabbat Shalom to you all. There's the number for the conference call. There's the time for the conference call. The time we're going to be doing them. Record that information and join us if it be your will, right? Because we're going to start holding those and discussing some things, right? You know, just get out of this setting here that we got going and get over to another, you know, something more private, something more out of the way, right? Glory be to the Father. And, you know, we're going to appreciate that and be able to appreciate each other and whatnot. It's gonna be blessed, you know. That's all. Start running through some of these, right? Proverbs 12:1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge. Do you love knowledge? Do you love knowing more than you have known prior? If you love knowledge, you'll love instruction. And that's really what correction is. Instruction. Without instruction, you won't know how to do something and you will be doing it wrong. All praise to the Father, right? But he that hateth reproof is brutish, right? No brain. That's brutish. Everything is with the hands. But if the hands don't have the mind to guide it, then the hands are no good. And the hands are all you have. So you're going to take those hands, you're going to do more damage than help. With no brain, with no mind, with no instruction, right? With no reproof. Reproof is somebody telling you the correct way, showing you your wrong way in order to give you your correct way, right? Who doesn't want that? A prideful person. That's why correction hurts. Because you want to spend your time being seen as, look at me, I'm big, I'm bad, right? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You want to be appreciated, you know, as somebody who does know things, right? You want to be in your pride. You want to look big and bad, and you know what I'm saying? Some people want to be accepted. So you're looking for acceptance, and you feel like if you're wrong and you have cause to be corrected, then that's going to hurt your chances of just being accepted, right? Others want to be superior, right? We want to be superior. That's hard to do if you have cause to be corrected, right? I know it's going in and out. Don't worry about it, right? I'm recording it. This ain't the real recording. I'm going to put some music behind it, spruce it up, right? Hook it up, and we'll be back with it. A better version of this, right? Guys, I do apologize. So just hang in here with me. The odds are stacked against us as we do this, right? The people on this internet are not friends. It could be louder. Maybe I can help with that. It could be louder. Let's see if that helps. Proverbs 15:10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way. So you didn't forsook the way. You didn't forsook the way. What is the way? The path, right? Yeshaya is the way. So the way is love, right? The way is that electric, that sapphire blue. You didn't forsook this. So in that situation, Correction is going to be grievous. You're not going to want to hear about yourself. You're not going to want to hear about your faults. Don't tell me what I did wrong, right? Let me just lay in my mud. You don't want to hear somebody telling you to get back on track if you off track, right? Obviously, if you could have stayed on track, you wouldn't have left it. So that's the thing. It's a humble spirit that steps in, and says, get back right. I know you don't want to, blah, blah. Get back right? Be right. And it's a child of the Most High who's going to listen to that. When you see him go nuts and go harder just because you said something, understand that the devil has full control of that vessel. Full control. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way. And he that hateth reproof shall die. If he hate reproof, he shall die. Why? Because he's continuing in the way, right, of death. When you approach him with the way of life, he doesn't receive that, right? He's hell-bent on going the direction that he's going with things, which are going to destroy him. So he's definitely going to make it all the way down to the end of that road where there is no more chances for him to be corrected, right? That's why that is. Proverbs 9 and 7 through 8. Proverbs 9 and 7 through 8. Let's get 8 in there. He that reproveth a scorner now getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. 8. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Right? He that reprove a scorner. A scorner is a person who he delights in going around and hurting people's feelings. Right? He's the one who's scorning everybody. He's the one, right, who's correcting everybody and not in a humble manner. He's doing it absolutely to hurt folks, and he delights in it. So there's going to be a whole bunch of people who get built up in hating him. Why? Because he has corrected them before, right? And they sitting back and they waiting on the day. Ooh, I can't wait till he reap what he sowed, right? And then finally, that happened. So here he is, the scorner, the one that's usually in that position. Oh, man. And you done just seen him just get crushed and corrected. And all of the people who he has corrected is like, yeah, right? Oh, that can possibly destroy that man, right? But he who reproves him, he who corrects him, he get to himself shame. Why? Because he's going to be bent now on destroying you. So he's going to return the favor, and he's going to find a way to do it. Why? Because how? Because he's the scorner. He's the one who's the expert at this, right? So he will get back at you, right? Reading on, and he that rebuke a wicked man. Now, so this man is all out wicked, and you open up your mouth at him, reading on, getteth himself a blot. He's going to hit you, right? He's going to want to knuckle up. He's going to want to squabble up, right? 8, reprove not a scorner. Once again, we're reproving the scorner again. Lest he hate you, he will hate you, right? But rebuke a wise man. Rebuke a man who has a lot of knowledge and he's after more, right? One who wants to be as right as possible, and he's good at jumping on that and tackling it, right? And adding it to the bag that he already has, right? That's full of wisdom. Rebuke him. That's who wants to be rebuked. He will love thee. That's the one he gonna love you. So, and we've been looking out for that, you know. We look for people's reactions when we correct them. We see how they take it, you know. All praise to the Most High. What we got next? Psalm 119 and 97 through 100, which says, "Oh, how love I thy law." If you love the law, right, you're not gonna mind correction. You would rather know than to not know, right? Reading on. It is my meditation all the day. 98. Thou through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies. Woo! I know what that's like. You're going to have the upper hand on your enemy if you know more righteousness than him. And is that worse for him? No, that's better for him. Why? Because you are going to use that to help him. You see that? So in this, it's better for your enemy, right? It's better for him. He would rather you be this person with all these commandments under your belt, right, than to be a brutish or a violent man or a striker or a scorner and all of these things, right? Because that don't help nobody, y'all. You fighting fire with fire, you're gonna burn everything down, right? But when you bring water to that fire, fire will cease and peace can commence. You see that? So it's a better thing for your enemy that you're made wiser through the commandments, right? Reading on, for they are ever with me. Once you get it with you, you got it with you, y'all. You never go backward. It's hard to go backward once you know. A lot of things, if people just knew them, it would help them stay on track. If you know what you're doing, you don't do the wrong thing, right? So once you know, that's kind of set in stone. You're going to go forward doing right. And if something should happen and you should malfunction, that's when it's iniquity, because you know better, but you're still going to do it, right? Reading on, 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers. Wow. Right? And that's just showing you that you can become more powerful than anybody and everybody if you stick your head in this law, right? And learn more and more and more about the Father. And the more you do for him, the more he's going to grant you. I have more understanding than all, not just the main one, but all my teachers. This is very possible. For thy testimonies are my meditation, right? Because I'm meditating in your testimonies more than them. That's why. But it really ain't about that. It ain't about knowing more, right? Long as what you know is going to save your life. That's why we get the wisdom and the knowledge, right? To be successful in this life, right? To not have the Father have wasted his time bringing us down in the earth as a servant for him, right? We want to be successful in that, you know, and to help others, help those around us and things like this, right? To be a good teacher ourselves, right? To pass Christ off to as many people as possible. And that don't stop when they know something. We're going to do this until the death, right? And that's how you know how vain people is, because they just want to wake you up, you know? Never mind how many you waking up, how many you getting to the finish line? How many can you get to the electric blue, huh? How many of these are making it, you know? What are they doing in the meantime, between time, after you wake them up, y'all? That's more important. You might as well have just left them sleep, right? You wake them up, you open their eyes to all of this stuff you got to do, and then you don't show them how to do it. You don't talk about it. You don't bring it up, right? It becomes a money grab. You know, it's all about what they can do for you. And we're going to go into that. We're going to go into the shepherds, right? Oh my goodness, man, I could see why they wanted me to stay quiet in that chair, right, man? Because this is the nail in their coffin. And I'm sorry, you know, I'm not deliberately trying to destroy anybody, but we're going to read these scriptures. Why? Because the elect is more important. Sorry, you know, sorry to step on your hustle, right, and your vainglory and all of these other things you want, but I'm sorry, I gotta collect my Father's elect, you know, and we gonna bring this stuff out, y'all, right? We gonna bring it out. Verse 100 of Psalm 119 says, I understand more than the ancients, right? Because I keep thy precepts. And we can clearly see where these guys ain't keeping these precepts. right? And they're the leaders of this community. There's nobody more known than them, more rich than them, have more followers than them, do more than them, go more places than them, and all of that, right? There's nobody above them in these aspects. But guess what? They're not keeping these precepts. We can easily see where, yeah, that was off right there. You as a leader, that was off, buddy, right? And they have an excuse for it, and they don't care. You can't correct them. You can't tell them anything, right? That's why this is going into this. And King David is saying here that he knows more than them. Why? Because now it's on him to correct them, you know? Through thy commandments has made me wiser than mine enemies. So your enemies ain't gonna like it. You know, they're gonna be jealous of the level that you're on, even though it's better for them. It's hurting them less, but they're still gonna hate you for that. They're an enemy, they have to hate you. They can't even admit when they appreciate you, right? So man, who wants to be stuck on that side of the line? Not me, right? So that's why I yield to my enemy or somebody who sees me as their enemy. I'm quick to yield to them. You know, if they right and I'm wrong, I'm not going to sit there wrong. And no, I don't got nothing to argue about. You won't get no argument out of me if you're right and I'm wrong, right? You know, you're going to see me cut my mouth real quick and chill and give you your flowers. Now let's be friends, right? Because I don't want to be wrong. And if you're wrong, that's all I'm doing is this, just correcting you, right? And you can take it how you want to take it after that. But this is going to be done, right? A lot of us are going to do everything, but we don't want to shake the boat, right? And we're not going to do this part. I have always corrected us, right? I have always brought forward the correct way to do things, right? Always. But he's not gonna like that. I have more understanding than my teachers. Why is it telling us that? Because now you're correcting your teacher now, and it's like, who are you? I'm your teacher, right? And that's how you know who your teacher is. How much in love is he with the Most High, really? Right? His love for the Most High should be more important than you correcting him, right? We'll see if he get mad at the truth. Never get mad at the truth. Be with the truth. Be on the right side of the truth, right? Let yourself get thrashed in order for the truth to stay good and well and intact, right? That's how we settle that. Oh, let the truth run me over, right? I'm going to yield to the truth. I love the truth. The truth is bigger than me, right? I ain't nothing, but this truth is everything. It's going to help us all. So by all means, right, let me get run over by the truth. But that's for you to see. It's for your teacher to see. For thy testimonies are my meditation. So that's how you get it. You meditate in the Most High's testimonies. Right? I understand more than the ancients. So the very prophets writing to me in this book, right? You can pass them up, right? A lot of them ain't been to the electric blue. The electric blue is a secret place, right? It gives us hints when it speaks about the secret place, which is up under the Most High, it says, right? That's that realm I went in, y'all. It's a lot of prophets that didn't write about that, didn't know about that. You know, they never teleported out of this earth before. Everything they know, they learned here and they spoke of it here, right? And they got thoroughly overtaken by the whole spirit of the Most High, and they was able to pen and scribe, right? And give us scripture, right? But I knew that, you know, there was no doubt in my mind that that place that I went to, this is the place that wrote the Bible, right? That place is more than the Bible, right? That place is higher than the Bible, right? That place is experience, y'all. That Bible is you're hearing about it. That Bible is telling you about a place where I went, right? So You could read all the books you want on a place, but till you step in there and look around and say, wow, oh, this is that. Oh, let's run over here and look at that. Oh, look at this, right? Imagine if you had to leave Earth and go somewhere and write about Earth. Of course, being in the Earth is going to be a much deeper experience than the place where you went and wrote about it, right? Say if you had to go to heaven and write about the Earth and tell the people in the heavens how it feels to be in the Earth, right? They'll be able to receive some of it, but it wouldn't be the same as if they came to Earth themselves, right? And we know angels got caught up like that. They came down here and seen fair women, which is a beautiful woman, to be fair, right? They came down here, they threw everything away, right? And made giants and all that, you know? So wherever you are, right? Wherever you are, it's better than reading about it or being told about it and things of this nature, right? You would rather go and get that experience for yourself, right? So being in that electric blue, man, it's a lot of prophets didn't see that, you know? So me, regular old nobody, old brother Bronze, right? I could tell a prophet, hey, man, this and that and blah, blah. I could talk to them about the electric blue and they'll pull up a chair and they'll want to hear it, right? And that's how you can see the pride of the men in the earth, right? You can see their pride. They like, never mind that. Why? Because it's not their experience. All they see is where I'm about to be possibly grandized, right? And that's the nail in the coffin for them, how they see it. But that should clearly show you their love for our Father, right? That's the scorner. He wants to be the only one big and bad, but when it's time for somebody else to be big and bad, he can't take that, right? So reprove not a scorner. Let him alone, right? Let the scorner alone. Proverbs 18:1. Through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh an intermeddle with all wisdom, right? Through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh, right, and intermeddleth with all wisdom, right? So when you separate yourself, you're going to seek and meddle with all wisdom, right? Why are you doing this? Through desire, through your desire. So you have to desire the wisdom, and it's going to cause you to seek and meddle with it. And in doing that, what do? You separate yourself. What is separated? Holy, fam, right? So if you're seeking and meddling with all wisdom, it's not going to offend you when you come upon it, right? You're not looking for what you hate. If you're looking for it, you're trying to find it. And that's often in somebody telling you, hey, that ain't how you do that. You don't do that like that. You do that like this, right? All praises to the Most High for correction, right? Proverbs 5:12-13. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. 13. And have not obeyed the voice of my teacher, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. How have I done this, right? And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? How could this be so, right? So Solomon here is taking this hard, y'all, right? I can imagine. That's a part of the wisdom that you get. All error is exposed. So he's looking back and he's like, man, how could I have been so stupid, right? And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, right? Obviously, this ain't David's situation where he knew more than his teachers, right? Obviously, your teachers knew more than you. And now you're coming into the knowledge of what they knew and looking back and saying, man, I was silly. Nor inclined mine ear, raised my ear, right, to them that instructed me. Man, how have we suffered? What have we been through that we didn't have to go through if we would have just inclined our ear, right, to them that instructed us? Glory be unto the Father, right? Glory be unto his holy name, you know? Psalm 32:9, be ye not as the horse, or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee. Yikes. Let's break that down, right? Be ye not as the horse, or as the mule. What are they? Stubborn, right? They're not like the sheep, right? That horse, baby, oh man, you'll see it constantly where somebody is beating the back off of a horse trying to get him to, right? And the horse, you know, on his own account just said, nope, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing your tricks. I'm not moving. I'm tired of walking. I'm standing here. I know I listen to you every day. Today, no, I'm not going to listen to you, right? But if they get that handful of cud, right, and feed the horse, they could get them to do what they want them to do, right? Which have no understanding. The horse have no understanding, y'all. That's a lot of its problem. It don't want to do what you're saying. It doesn't see the benefit in it. But whose mouth must be held in with bit? You know, it's not even willing to take the bit. You got to force the bit, right? You got to force the bit. That's to be held in. And then finally, it'll start chomping, right? Whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle. To bridle is now you can move it. Now it'll listen, right? Lest they come near you, right? So that's another thing we see a lot with a horse. You better stay from behind it, right? It will kick you, right? Lest it come nigh thee. It's going to come upon thee. And that's how men are, right? Stubborn men. If you don't give them what they asking, they're going to turn on you and they're going to want to fight. They're going to start talking violence. They're going to start threatening you and stuff like this, right? So when you hear that threat, know that you're dealing with this horse and this mule right here. And you got a set amount of seconds, right? Or minutes or however much patience they have. That's how long you have before what? Lest they come near unto thee. They gonna get up on you, right? And then poop, it's gonna be time to, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's who? A person that hates correction, reproof, reproach, right? Glory to the Most High. 2 Thessalonians 2:10, right? Oh, we gotta get more of that. And with all deceivableness, right? Hold up. We got to get more of that. We got to get like 9 through 12 on that. So let me pull myself up another window here and be able to go to that really quick. Glory be to the Father. Really quick, we're going to get 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9 through 12. We got to get that whole passage right there and drop that in there, because this is where we want to be. This is how we want to have it. Sorry about the freezing, y'all. Sorry about that. Don't trip. You'll be able to watch it back nice, clear, rolling how it's supposed to be rolling. I'm going to take these down and I'm going to put them back up edited. So all praises to the Most High. We got the whole thing up here now. 2 Thessalonians or Thessalonians, whatever you want to call it. Those S's can be silent if you wish. But 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9 through 12, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's a wizard, y'all. Because Satan was first. His coming is after the working of Satan, right? So Satan went first, right? He followed after Satan is what this is telling you. With what? With all power. So he has all power, guys. So how can we look at somebody and say, oh, well, he taught us this, so he can't be wrong? No, Satan is going to use that, right? And signs. So he has power. He's big and bad. He's grand. He's right? He's going to deceive so many, right? And signs. He's able to do things. He's going to know things. He's going to, you know what I mean? And he's using all of that to say that he's closer to the Most High, to where, you know what I'm saying? He can hide himself, right? And lying wonders, right? So they're wonders, but they're lying wonders. You see this? Oh my goodness. But even to him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. 10. And with all deceivableness. So his level of deception is top tier, right? And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. It's unrighteous, right? In them that perish. So he's perishing, and whoever he collects, they're gonna perish, y'all. So with all of that, what they're saying is, regardless of this, what? Or matter of fact, it's going to tell you why first. Why is because they receive not the love of the truth. They're looking at these scriptures and they're forgiving it and they're excusing it. And you know what I'm saying? I know what the scriptures say, but I love him, right? That's what that is, because they receive not the love of the truth. They love the teacher and the man more than they love the truth. Right? And they're willing to roll over on the truth for this man, right? That they might be saved, right? They don't care if it'll save them. They know they putting the nail in their own coffin with this, but that's not going to stop them, right? Why? Because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved, right? They know that being saved is riding on the line to this. But they're still going to stay under the influence of this man, right? Who they see busting up this whole Bible, law, prophets, and gospel, you know, from the rooter to the tutor, you know what I'm saying? From Genesis to Revelation, with the Apocrypha in the middle, with all the extra biblical texts, right? The Enoch, the Jasher, right? All of these other books, the Book of Jubilees, right? These are extra biblical texts, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls. Right? They rolled over on all of that for this man, right? That's a fair exchange. The devil will do that, for he'll show you crazy stuff, right? And if in return he can have your soul, that's what the devil does. Wake up, people. Wake up, right? Because even who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, right? Why? Because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. 11. And for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion. So he's going to help you. When you got to pick between your teacher and the truth, and you pick your teacher, he's going to put an extra strong spirit on you to say, yeah, go with your teacher. Right? Woo! Oh my, I needed a moment of silence for that one. I think this is one of my favorite scriptures in this book. I have loved this passage since the first time I looked at it, since the first time I was a babe, right? And I made sure this never became me, y'all. 11, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion. So he's going to help you, right? That they should believe a lie. And he know when he got you, right? That's how he could go extra in, right? And people with eyes to see are seeing it, but the people who love and who are caught up in all of this, they're going to believe that lie. Why? Because of that strong delusion, right? Oh my goodness. So it gets worse. It's a strong delusion, and they believe a lie. 12, that they might be damned who believe not in the truth. That was your crime. You didn't believe in the truth, right? You let something be more important than the truth was, right? But had pleasure in unrighteousness. You had pleasure in that unrighteousness, right? We should get 13 though. Hold on a second. Let's get 13. Let me get 13 now, because 13 is us. That's where we gonna come in, me and you, right? Let me just take this and paste this here. Bang, right? Let's get rid of all of that and slide that verse 13 up in there, right? But we are bound to give thanks always to the Most High for you. For who? For me, for you, right? Us who woke up, snapped out of that strong delusion and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And us who shunned it and didn't let it get us, right? Thanks to you. Always, brethren. Thanks to the Most High for you, brethren, beloved of the Most High, because the Most High has from the beginning chosen you to salvation. Nothing's going to stop us, right? We're going to go all the way to salvation. All of this stuff in between us and salvation, whoop, bam, it's going to get knocked out the way, right? So we're being thanked for that because the Most High has from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification, through being made holy, through being separated from all of this, right? Of the Spirit and what else? And belief in the truth. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm breaking those chains and those curses, right? And that strong delusion, right? A lot of people don't want that broken, right? Oh, so bronze, you can imagine I'm the scum of the earth right now for a lot of people, because how dare you wake me up from my slumber, right? And my idol worship. I want to worship things beneath God and the truth, right? And you're making that hard for me to do. Why don't you shut up, right? They're saying things like, come home, Mark, come home. Are you listening to anything I'm saying? Home? How is that home, right? A brother went and suffered and all of this and blah, blah, you know. That's like a brother break out of jail and you run up on him, hey, go back to jail, man, and, you know, or some place where you was getting tortured. Why you run, you know? Why you run from that hole where you was gagged and bound and eating bread and water and getting beaten, slapped around by some people, right? With a blindfold on, and you was lucky to get out of that, right? And then it's somebody who likes being in that, right? Oh, that's not really a blindfold. I don't need to see. I don't need to see anything, right? Oh, who cares? You know, it's bread and water, so what? Yeah, they slap you around a little bit, but yeah, so what? Get slapped around, like, you know what I'm saying? A POW, right? He done broke out and, you know, came after you to tell you to go back where y'all was prisoners of war at, right? That strong delusion, my people, and they believe that lie, right? And they are also damned. Why? Because they believe not the truth, and they had pleasure in that unrighteousness. Man, they gonna wake up. Somebody gonna wake up. Somebody gonna watch this, and you know, and that's what they have been doing. I'm done. They gonna see this, man. This is it. And all praises to the Most High for freedom, right? And deliverance and things like this, right? And repentance, right? And to get back on this proper track, right? And get people out of the path, right? Out of the way of the path you've been set on in order to get to salvation. If you be blessed to see the electric blue, if you be blessed to see, maybe you go the route of Abraham's bosom. Maybe you go that route. Maybe you go a realm above where I was at, and you're in the same heaven as the Most High Christ Holy Spirit, right? Maybe you make it up there, over the top of the electric blue. Maybe you're blessed to make it there. But first, we got to get this strong delusion out the way, y'all. And everybody who would block that path, right? And we know what the path is, right? That's the path. That's the way, right? The way, the truth, and the life, right? The life is the destination. That's where you're going to end up at. Proverbs 8:17, I love them that love me, and those who seek me shall find me. If you seek the Most High, you're going to find the Most High. I sought the Most High, fam, and I saw the Most High. right? Now, I didn't stay. If I would have stayed, I probably would have seen the Most High, you know? Maybe he pops down out of his realm into the realm of love real quick. It's right up under him. It's the very next thing you get to beneath him, right? Maybe I would have seen the Most High. I could feel that we all yearn for him, and that's probably why, because he's popping in and out, right? And then he left, and then he leave him in that realm yearning for him. Oh, when he's gonna come back down, right? I could feel the yearn. Like I said, we had all the same knowledge, right? So I can feel them yearning for him. We yearn for the Most High in that realm, even though he was very close, right? You could feel that he wasn't far. Oh, man. But he says, I love them that love me. He loves us all, right? Like I love all my kids, right? But I have some children that, man, they don't care about the world. They care about dad, right? I want to be right here with dad, right? So they're going to hear more from me. They're going to know more of my thoughts, right? They're going to know more of what I like and don't like. They're going to be able to tell their other brothers and sisters, hey, dad don't like that. Well, where was I when he said, well, you was playing over there, but I was right up under dad, right? And I heard him say, don't do that, right? You're going to know more of the father's do's and don'ts if you're up under him, right? Now, a lot of it, you're going to get together. A lot of it, dad is going to say, and all the kids are there. We all understand this. We all heard this, right? Yeah. All praise to the Most High. And those that seek him early, those who seek me early shall find me. Found him, y'all. I know where he is. I know where he is, right? And it's a different life to come back here and live. And he told me some things that, of course, it's just for me and him. It'll offend you if I told you, right? A lot of this, I gotta come back and be condescending with. You know, it's a lot I'm not saying to you. And it's a lot that I am saying to you for the sake of your mind. And I don't believe it because I know the truth, right? But it'll be dangerous to put it out here, right? It has the potential to damage the earth, y'all, and to damage everybody who hears it, right? So those parts I have to keep to myself, but you will see, right? You'll see. We're all going to the same place. Some of us just get there before others, that's all. Right? But Proverbs 8:17, one more time. I love them that love me and those that seek me early. Now, if you seek him early, that means you left the world behind. And I did that before I went anywhere. I was all kind of scums of the earth to a lot of people. Why? For the sake of the Most High and for my love for him, right? He loves them that love him. He's not going to let you go through that by yourself on the sake of him and not show you something that he's not showing people who have not done that. You see what I'm saying? That part, right? He's going to show you things, y'all. Get close to your father, y'all. And I'm going to do that one too, right? I'm going to do that one. How to get closer to the father, right? And see things, make him show you things that he ain't showing all kind of people. Oh my goodness. Man, everything is wide open. You can do you can go to the electric blue. You can see it yourself. Ask me how I know. And why ain't they teaching you this? Why do the nobody have to come from the bottom and tell you this? Right? What's available to you in the Most High. Man, forget the rest of this world. Forget all of those things you think you want. Get close to your Father. Bury your face in these scriptures and then close your book and then go be Christ, right? Go do crazy things, right? Go do things that anger people is so righteous. Man, why you give that away? You gave that away? Are you stupid? Right? Go anger people. Man, you forgiving that? Blah, blah. Like, oh my goodness. Go anger people with your righteousness. Oh, you being too righteous now, brother. Right? You know how many times I heard that by a leader? You're being too, oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right. And I took it in, yeah, okay. I didn't change though, right? Because I know how the Father spoke to me. The heart that He put in me is going to be acted out, right? You need to be charging them for that music. Oh, you did all of this. You put that whole album together for free. Oh, you did all of this. You did all of that. Don't let me get to blowing it. And I'm sorry, y'all. Don't let me go into too much detail, right? But yeah, you did that up, and yeah, right. Why not? Psalm 92:6. A brutish man knoweth not. He don't know, right? Neither does a fool understand this. Understand what? Nothing. He don't know. He's a brutish man, right? Brutish is more brawn than brain, right? More body than ear, right? You could do things with your mind and never move, but he'd rather get in there and sweat and talk, you know, because he don't know better. So he has to jump in there with his hands, right? A brutish man knoweth not, neither does a fool understand this, right? All praises be unto the Most High. Proverbs 2:10-11. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee. Oh my goodness, right? When wisdom, when ruach, right? When the kakamawaf, when she enter into your heart, y'all, and knowledge is pleasant unto your soul, knowing is pleasant unto you, right? You're not going to get angry when you're corrected. You're not going to get mad because you're receiving new knowledge, right? No. 11, discretion shall preserve thee. So that discretion is that correction, right? Discretion shall preserve thee. To preserve is to wrap you up in plastic and take care of you and do you right and right and set you right, and put you in the refrigerator and not let you stay out uncovered and spoil, right, and ruin and all, you know what I'm saying? To preserve thee. Shout out to the joint, go listen to Preservation. That's what the Most High did with us when He sat us in the ghetto, right? He got rid of a whole bunch of you. We probably would have destroyed ourselves and been no more if He didn't put us dumb and stupid in the ghetto, doing the things in the ghetto, right? But when we start smoking each other and at the rate we started dying, I can imagine He said, okay, we gotta bring them up out of that retarded state and show them who they are again and bring them back to this law again, right? Crack came, Uzis came, right? Now we spraying the block and killing kids and old folks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, He had to step in. He had to give us our truth back, right? He didn't have to, but praise the Most High that He chose to, right? It was time to wake us up, but He preserved us, right? But that ain't all. This discretion, right? This preserves us also, right? And understanding, once we understand, it shall keep us. What is to keep? To keep is to watch, right? And to preserve and to take care of and to nurture. All of that. To not allow any harm to come upon. All of that is to be kept, right? So that's what discretion, right? Reproof, correction, reproach, right? That's what all of that does for us. Allow yourself to be corrected, fam. And that's even in the vein of if you think you're the one that's doing the correct thing. You know when a higher form of knowledge has slapped you in your face, right? And I'm telling you this because if you come to correct me for something and I speak back, listen to what I'm telling you. Because I know when what you're saying null and voids my stance, and I'm not going to continue to stay on my stance if that's the case. So if you see me bark back, listen to what I'm saying, right? Because you won't have to tell me twice. I'm going to thank you. I'm going to honor you for coming and correcting me, right? If I'm actually being corrected, right? I have no desire. I keep telling y'all, I don't have a cloak. Cloaks make you do that. Yeah, I'm Brother Bronze. Yeah, I made a lot of music. Yeah, it reached millions, right? High millions if you look at the duration of this page. Yeah, but I will crawl. I'm a foot washer. I will crawl. I will grovel if respect is due, right? I don't hold back respect that is due, right? I'm going to give it all praises to the Most High. Isaiah 1 and 3, right? The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass, the donkey, his master's crib. But Israel does not know. My people does not consider. We don't know who we belong to. We don't know when we're being corrected by him. We don't know when somebody is coming in his name and not for ourselves, right? A lot of people ain't coming in their own name. They're coming in the Father's name, y'all. An ox, he knows his owner. A donkey knows his master's crib, right? But Israel don't know, right? We don't know our Father, y'all, right? And we won't even consider it, right? We won't even consider that, man, maybe could this be the Most High talking to me through this man? You know I don't want to hear what he's saying. I know it's dreaded what's coming out of his mouth right now, but what if it's really the person who's in charge of your mood from day to day and your blessings from day to day and showing you the heaven or hell at the end of your life? How can you play with him? It don't matter how much you don't like what he's saying. You better latch on to. You better make yourself like it. Right? I remember doing that. Right? Please, Father, don't let that be what you're saying. And I seek a little deeper and I pray a little more. And guess what? Yeah, that's what he's saying. And at that moment, all right, Father, take it. Right? And that's the want nothing right now. Let the Father take whatever he want to take that you thought was yours, but it wasn't, right? In our ignorance, we think things is ours, but it ain't. And when we figure that out, want nothing, release it, let it go, right? But Isaiah 1 and 3, the ox know his owner and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people, they won't even consider, y'all. They won't even consider. Proverbs 8 and 32. Now, therefore, hearken unto me. You got to listen to the Most High, right? O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. When you do what he's saying to do, oh, you are blessed, right? Highly blessed. He'll show you heaven. Ask me how I know, right? He'll show it to you, right? So whatever position we sitting in, that's our fault, y'all. We can't blame nobody else. But I'm telling you, if you forsake this world, he'll do amazing things, y'all. And you won't be worried about nothing. You'll look back and you'll be so glad that you did what? That you kept his ways, right? For blessed are they that keep my ways. Oh, it's going into Psalm 119 through 27. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. Man, that's me right there, y'all. That's me. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, right? Because that ain't happening if you ain't listening to the Father, right? His precepts. A precept is a law stacked up on top of another law, stacked up on top of. These are laws, fam, stacked up on top of each other. That's what a precept is, right? A precept is pre to another sept, right? A concept, a sept, right? You know, precept. Make me to understand the way, the path of thy precepts. Have me to understand how to put these precepts together, Father, and go and jump all over this book with it, because, right, we got the New and the Old Testament basically saying the same thing, but being made plainer in the New Testament, easier for us to understand, right? That's what Christ came and did. Christ came and said, no, y'all had this wrong. It wasn't saying that. It was saying this. Right? But that had to happen in order for us to appreciate Christ the way that we do. But Help me to understand, make me to understand the way, the path, right? How to leave this precept and go to that one, and leave that one and go to this one. Help me to understand the way, right? Or the way, the path, right? To Abraham's bosom, the path, right? The other way, right? Because we know Abraham's bosom is in the center of the earth. Or you can go up, right? I believe, that's where Enoch went. That's where Elijah and them went, right? I'm back with the testimony of that place, y'all. He opened up that door for us and let us get a peek in there, y'all. All of us who wondering where they go, where they got beamed up, they didn't go in Abraham's bosom, they went up. I went up, y'all. And guess he's letting in there? Us who walk by this way of Christ and walk in love, and us who master 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Oh, y'all see what he put in the earth in this last days for the righteous? Do you see what he did for the righteous, y'all? Yikes. Ooh. So shall I talk of thy wondrous works. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking of his wondrous works, right? I'm talking of the secret place. I'm talking of the sapphire blue, right? In my ignorance, I called it the electric blue when I got back here, right? When I spoke of that realm, his wondrous works. And what is that? That's the studio, right? That's where things are made. He made this realm there, right? He made Abraham's bosom there. He made the torture chambers on the other side of the great Gulf fix. He made all of that stuff there, right? The many mansions that Christ said he was leaving to go create. He's creating them in that realm, right? This stuff is more beautiful, y'all. This we would rather be looking at. It looks better, but over there, it feels better, right? All praises to the Most High. But you'll never see that if you hate correction. I loved correction, y'all. I loved it. I pulled up a chair. Yeah, never mind me, thrash me, Oh, throw me through the grinder so that I could get this truth, right? So that I could further understand. Yeah, I'm looking ugly today, but watch how I take this correction right here and watch how I'm gonna look tomorrow, right? The next time you see me, watch how I'm gonna look, baby, huh? Yeah, right? And let's go out with this one here. Let's go out with this Hebrews 12 and 11 right here on that note. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth joyous. It ain't, did I just say that? It ain't pleasant while you're going through it, right? It's not joyous while you're going through it, right? But grievous. It's grievous now. Nevertheless, right? Nevertheless means but anyway, anyhow, anywho, right? Afterwards now, it yieldeth peaceable fruit of righteousness. Now, unto who? Unto them which are exercised thereby. Those who exercise in that, they will become righteous, right? And they will enjoy the fruit, the sweet, juicy bite of righteousness, y'all. Oh, right? That's what you want to get to. And what is it? It's peaceable. Just backtrack it, right? We going backwards. Thereby exercise. So if you exercise this, right, you're going to reach that righteousness, right? And that righteousness, you're going to reach the fruit of that righteousness. You're going to bite into that. You're going to taste that, right? Oh, it's nurturing to your soul. You understand? And what is that nurturing called? Peace. Peaceable. Now, right? The end of it is peace. And you don't got to die. You don't got to go to the electric blue for that. You can get it right here, right? So even though you see them tread on me and stomp on me and throw me through the grinder, I'm still at peace. And even though for your sake, I tell you what's going on so that your eyes could see clear and between me and them and this and that and blah, blah. So you could, get my take on the grand scheme of things, how I'm seeing it from my view, right? I have to go into that and discuss that. And just because it's coming out of my mouth, it looks like I have come out of this peace here, but I haven't, y'all. I'm still in that peace. right? And me, never mind me, but you can clearly see, I can clearly see how that had to happen in order for the devil to throw a monkey wrench in between you and what you could be learning and latching on to, and what we could be doing, and how we could, have less people with cancer, and all of us who are facing the east doing the shamai, with this nasty food and this poison out of our bodies, right? And become more of a farming people and come more out of those concrete jungles and onto dirt and land like this, and to work the wondrous works of the Most High God, Ahaya, right? That's what you're doing when you're putting a seed in dirt and planting it, and you're bringing life and plants and food out of that. Oh, we're going to be doing the work of the Most High when all of us get on this, that I see getting on this, and that the Most High ordained. They're not going to stop it. They can slow it down, but they can't stop it. It's going to happen, right? But I can't wait till we're doing that. When you're excited, when you come around the corner and you got little nuts, right? You got little buds forming. And then you come around the corner a few weeks after that, and it's a big, juicy, plump fruit, right? And you're going to take that and you're going to feed that to your family, right? And it has no starch. And you didn't spray it with Roundup and chemicals, right? And bug killers and things like that, You didn't spray it with none of that, right? And it doesn't have no fake granulated sugar in it, which is a chemical and doesn't grow anywhere out of nothing. It is made solely to kill you, right? When we come out of that, right? And every new thing we repair, it's just going to bring us back closer, 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 closer to the Most High. And that's how he's going to come and get us. Because not only are we so close to the Most High, but somebody's going to touch us, and he breaks his own rules in the end, right? He has a set time where he's supposed to be rolling. But if he really let it roll that long, the devil would be able to destroy us all. So that's why it's only a remnant of us in the end, right? Because it's going to be a few of us left when he can't take it no more. He's going to come and he going to thrash this earth in one day, right? You're going to wake up one morning, and that's going to be the last morning you wake up, because the next morning we going to be on the new heaven and the new earth. Why? Because he's in the studio making it right now, and it's going to be done, and it's going to be sitting there, right? But, let this time continue. I said it would go for this long, but we're going to actually seal these before we get to the end of this earth. And once we are sealed, he's coming. He's not holding back, not nan minute. He's coming, y'all. Sent to us by the one and only Ahaya, right? All praise to the Most High. So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and happy Sabbath, right? Glory be unto his holy name. Let's get ready to hit it tomorrow, y'all. Let's get ready to go out tomorrow, y'all. I pray you make it out. If you don't have the flyer, hit us up. Brother Ramak put us together a nice flyer, guys. He went in. He did a nice flyer. And if you don't have that one, hit up and get that one. It's more like a pamphlet. Very nice. Let's push that. Tap in. Get the flyer. Duplicate it. Pass it out. You could do that by yourself. You don't need nobody to do that with you. If you got another one with you, y'all bring out this word, right? And leave a pamphlet with whoever you take a shine to, right? If you want to leave the contact with them and things like this, right? Make sure you put your information on the flyer before you duplicate it, so that your information can be on all of the flyers. But let's hit it tomorrow, y'all. Shout out to California. If you're in California, tap in, right? And join us on this mission to please Christ and to see this electric blue. I want to see y'all bypass Abraham's bosom. I want to see you be employed in love. and not be bound nowhere and keep going in and out of that realm, right? Because we was going in and out of that realm. I went, y'all, right? In order for anybody to feel love, we have to leave that realm and fill up your spirit, right? Yeah, I want to see us do that and go there. Or, you know, the next step from that is Abraham's bosom, a paradise, you know, go lay in that, you know, a beautiful paradise that he made like he made this earth, you know, a bunch of colorful flowers and pretty green grass and just, you know, meadows of water dripping, and, you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful paradise, and go chill with Abraham and them, right? Man, that's shoot, I would love that. All praises, you know, but if not, it's them torture chambers on the other side, right? And you can walk to the edge of Abraham's bosom and look over there and see that and talk to them over there, and they over there begging for water and stuff, right? Please, you know, dip your finger in water that you may cool my tongue, right? You know, they over there begging for a sip, right? You don't want to be over there, and that's how we gonna be if we refuse all of this correction and stay big and bad in our posture and all of this. Yeah, that's gonna cost you. You have your that's your reward. You have your reward. But shout out to Cali, shout out to Arizona. Let's figure out where you're at. Link in. Let's figure out where you're at. Let's figure how far you are from people. And if you're that far, I'm not going to do that to where, you know, you're traveling, you on the road for heck of hours, right? Nah, if it ain't nobody at least an hour within the vicinity of where you are, then you just going to be our point of contact right there where you at. And we just, you know what I'm saying? We could build something where you at, right? And brothers don't want to do that because that's another church that they're going to have to pay for, right? But that's why we're doing this, so that we're able to do that, right? We don't care. We ain't going to make you drive all of that time. Nah, this is more about the people. The people rule this. We're doing what's better for the people. We're going to pay another rent. We're going to get another building. And it ain't going to be no big cross, no big idol erected in it either. And it ain't going to be no Christmas trees in there in December and all of that. You know, it's cheaper to do that. But if we have to, we'll do storefronts. We'll do a storefront. They don't want to pay for that. We going to pay for it. It's more about the people and their comfort. It's about you, folks. Right? So shout out California, Arizona, link in, Vegas, right? All of Nevada. How far are you from Vegas? Link in, right? You're in Needles, right? You're in Laughlin, right? Link in. Shout out Colorado. Ran into another person, Colorado, right? Colorado is growing. It's a few people in Colorado. Shout out Colorado. Shout out to all of Texas, Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, San Antonio, right? Y'all link in every area of Texas. We got you. Link in Texas. Preferably be out there with them tomorrow. You could be hearing this right now, and you could be on the corner in the morning, right after the Sabbath, reaching the public and becoming known as a pillar of Christ in your community. And people ain't gonna be ready for you when they see you, right? But when they go through things in life, they're gonna ask themselves, where is that dude, right? That dude that was trying to feed me Christ when I was busy with the illusion. Now I know it's an illusion. Where's that dude, right? And then guess what? The moment after they have that thought, they're going to get up the next day. Guess who they're going to run into? You. They're going to run to you. Oh, brother, I've been looking for you, right? Let's start doing that. Let's get that flowing in our cities, y'all. Stand up and erect yourself as a public pillar for Christ, y'all. Now, right? Shout out to all of Texas, link in. North Carolina is growing as well, right? Beautiful what's going on in North Carolina. Y'all come together. Shout out to my brother Mathana, right? Shout out to my brother Ramat. Y'all come together and flip that thing upside down, right? King El Bar, right? I pray y'all come together with that beautiful flyer that Trip put together and flip North Carolina upside down, y'all. Right? My other sister just got out there. I'm not sure if she want to be named. It's a lot of people. I'm not sure if they want to be named. Y'all come together and y'all do y'all thing. right? I got a few more contacts to shoot y'all way too as well in North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to Georgia, right? If you're around the area of Atlanta or Macon, or on the cusp over on the Florida side, link in, right? If you're in Georgia, if you're in Florida, link in. Shout out my brother Ayalawan. He's in here, right? He's waiting on you. In Orlando, right? I lost my brother that I had in Miami. He went up to Jersey. He's in Jersey now, so Jersey, link in, same deal. I need Miami back. Right, so we're gonna have to set somebody else up to receive Miami, right? So if that's you, hit us up in Miami. Shout out to Virginia. Virginia, link in. We need you on all sides. All we need in Virginia is a leader. I got a brother there. He really don't want to do it. He's not confident in himself, but there's families there. They just waiting for somebody. And there's no threat in that. Anybody could go over that because everybody can reach out and tell me what's going on, right? So second you do some funny stuff, right, you're out of there, right? So don't think you can pop up with some type of funny ulterior motive and bother the people of God. That ain't going down. And I never understood that either. How are you unreachable to the congregation that you're bringing in? How can't they reach you? Why are they capped by some guy who wants to do wickedness to them and you don't even hear about it? It's 2 and 3 years later when you finally hear. That's crazy, man, right? We're not doing that over here. So if your heart is pure and you got the leader's spirit, right? Virginia's waiting on you, right? We got families. Whoever feel like you could do it, hit that Plant Vineyards 144 right there. Let's get you set up. That's the email right there. Link in there, right? Shout out to Milwaukee. Also Jersey, link in. Jersey, link in. Louisiana, link in. Wherever you're at in Louisiana, right? Michigan. If you're in Detroit, link in. Also, if you're in Grand Rapids. If you're in Grand Rapids, that place is ready to go. It just needs somebody to lead them there. Somebody to say when y'all meet in and come together and, give the time and the place where y'all gonna meet and things like that. That's all that's needed in Grand Rapids. I'm thinking about having my boy do it that I grew up with from the sandbox, right? Ran these streets with, but he went straight Christian though. He's a straight Christian though, right? But he's up on all of this and he's been watching me and things like that through my whole, walk, through my whole Hebrew faith. He's up on everything, and I think he might be on this, man, because when I talk to him, he knows a lot and he doesn't slam it, he respects it, but I'm about ready to just sit him up over Grand Rapids though, because that's where he moved when he left Cali. That's where he was originally from, right? So I'm thinking about letting him just say where y'all meet and y'all come together, and you know what I'm saying? So I may just do that. That may even bring him closer into this, right? All praises to the Most High. Shout out to my brother Lenard Ross. I'm going to be getting with you pretty soon, brother, if you're watching this, because I know he's been watching this. Think about it, brother. Have an answer for me when I reach out to you, because I might just have you bring them together in Grand Rapids. All praises to the Most High. Kentucky, right? My brother Shin. Y'all link in. We got a few sisters there looking to link in. Y'all could come together, pass some flyers out, and grow y'all, and reach the people. Jacob walking around Kentucky, he don't even know yet, he can run into some Hebrews with a flyer, and then boom, that body gonna be built. Y'all pay attention, right? Anybody could do this, right? Anybody can do this. It's all for Christ. Do this yourself, right? Don't come through me. And that's the spirit of Christ, y'all. Ain't no gatekeepers and this is mine. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing. Right? Pay attention, right? Shout out to the DMV. DMV, link in. Ohio, link in. New Zealand, link in. South Africa, link in. Right? We want as many of us, at least, passing a flyer out tomorrow. Let's take the love of Christ to the streets, right? And with that, Shabbat Shalom. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all blessed Sabbath out there. And, hold on before I go. One more thing, right? Kapow, right? Take you that conference call number down. We're going to be doing it Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 Pacific, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to get on the line. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss things. And that's where all of you are going to have a voice. So raise your hand. We're going to unmute you, state your case, right? And we're going to get in there and we're going to shindig and powwow and hobnob and do all of that, right? All praises to the Most High, right? Whose name is Ahiah. Got a son named Yeshaya who has a mother, right? Yeshaya has a mother named Rawat Kodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the title, Kamawah, which is her name, Wisdom. Yeah. Shalom. Yeah. Just brewing in the house of thy power. Yeah. Get some drums, some of them drums in there. Get some of them drums. Yeah. Free your mind. Yeah. And your behind will be fine. Yeah. What'll happen if I hit this right here? Yeah. Did that feel good? Yeah, that feels good. Just want to encourage a little study. Let's get into this. I'm gonna come like this stuff. Rich. This here be the riches. This here be the business. Yeah. This here work for you quick, real fast, any minute. Yeah. If it take a little longer, trip. Sound piece ain't tripping. Drill. Dropping knowledge everywhere. Drill. All over straight wizard script. Anybody say anything, you could just take a minute scriptures. Listen. Roman 3:3 said don't even matter, they don't wanna listen. Different. Mark 7:13 tell you it don't even really make a damn tradition. Let them keep on putting father up under all their tradition. All facts, no fiction. Big facts, no feelings. What? Long as I was smiling down on you, he do not rock with the wicked. Exodus 23:7, he don't justify for the wicked. Nah. Long as you don't struggle with it, nah. That'll be hypocrite. Nah. Open your book, study up, hit a whole matter. Do what you read and guarantee you'll wax fatter. But better is he that never really knew much than he that know a lot but he didn't do much. You be missing out on so much, just so much that you never knew. Study to show yourself approved. You could really go save your soul and help somebody else's too. Study to show yourself approved. If you really gonna run your mouth, then that's the least that you could do. Study to show yourself. You will never wind up for sure. You rather divide the word of truth. Hype it up. Study to show yourself up. See you going off a feeling. Appealing. Anything look appealing. Dealing. What you seeing in your dealing. Ceiling. About to see you through the ceiling. Running hot like an engine. Using all these mechanisms. Forbid. That the Father said forbid. Prohibit. They prohibit in the scriptures. But above all things. See the heart is deceitful. Even when the mind know better, heart I still wanna do evil. Spirit willing, let's do it. Run. But the flesh you get weak. Run. Mind like run away. Run. Heart like but I need it. Sending yourself straight to the front of hell gate. Don't nobody wanna do the work, but everybody talking about faith. What faith? They don't know what the book say. Serving some God they made. When they don't got no roots, he let them live like they way. John 14:15, 1 John 5:3. If you don't wanna do right by me, stop saying you love me. Better study. Statements ain't got no truth to them. You better study. What are you spending all your life doing? You be missing out on so much, just so much that you never knew. Father, guide me to your children. Study to show yourself approved. You could really go save your soul and help somebody else's too. Study to show yourself approved. If you really gonna run your mouth, then that's the least that you could do. Study to show yourself. You will never wind up for sure. You rather divide the word of truth. You can start this today. Study to show yourself approved. Yeah, that's the least that you can do. Ain't hurting nobody but you. You always winding up ashamed. Study to show yourself approved. Yeah, that's the least that you can do. Ain't hurting nobody but you. You always winding up ashamed. You sick of winding up ashamed.
Yeah, ain't you sick of winding up a shame?
Your mind, baby, stimulate your mind.
Yeah, ain't you sick of winding up a shame?
You know, this is the age of information. Ignorance is a choice at this point. And faith is a good thing. But you can't have faith against prophecy, against what the Father has already passed his decree on. Read the Bible, 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Study to show yourself approved. If you don't study your God, then how do you know that your God ain't Satan? Your faith got to be accurate and pleasing to the God that you say you serve and work for. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. So that's like you telling me you an electrician, and then I put you on that kind of job and you mess everything up because you don't know what you're doing. You see that? You would be ashamed, wouldn't you? We got children in this truth, okay, babies, that know how to open up a Bible and chop a whole pastor up, okay? Have them stuttering. You pastors should be ashamed of yourself. Ain't that shameful on their part? This can be applied to any situation under the sun, okay? If ever you find yourself ashamed in anything, whatever the case may be, it's because you didn't know what you was doing. If you was studied up and knew what you was doing, then that situation would have came to you and you would have executed it like a pro, huh? Let's read. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay, rightly dividing the word of truth, because you are studied up and trained for this job. You are approved, okay? Qualified to do this job. What is there for you to be ashamed about? See that? You ain't gonna wind up ashamed. You know your job. You are a workman with no need to be ashamed. You see that? Precept. Get it again. Matthew 13:52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe, okay, a scribe is a writer, which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven. Okay, if that writer is instructed to the kingdom of heaven, okay, that means he is truly ordained and appointed by the Most High, right? And what? Is like unto a man that is a household. Okay, he is like a man that is a head of a house, right? And in control of this house. This house being the truth. Read on. Tell us more about this man in this house, Matthew. Which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old. Bang. So that mean if you step to this house, this man is able to bring you out all kinds of treasures, right? Old and new. He got the newest, latest thing that's popping. He got it all. He can bring you out old valuables, antiques, all that. Because he know exactly what he got back there, right? And he know exactly where it is. You go visit him, you know he gonna blow your mind every time, huh? Okay, well this book is that house. It's full of jewels, old and new, okay? And the man who knows what's up in it is able to bring that stuff out. Okay, that's a man he is approved, okay? With no need to be ashamed. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay, you can't do that if you don't know what's up in this house or not, that you were a householder of. So what's the flip side of this? Let's go to it. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. You will be spoiled with philosophy, Khan. That's the flip side of this. What is philosophy, according to this book? It's worthless, ain't it? A philosopher is going back there and he coming back with garbage, right? Like, what is this, bro? Trash. It holds no weight in this book, right? He done brought you out some baseball cards that nobody ever wanted, Con. But see, you don't know that. And you thinking he got something. Oh, you got these? Oh, man. Trash. Okay, that's what philosophy is. What else is philosophy? In vain deceit. Okay, vain deceit. Garbage. Holds no weight. Worthless. That's what it is. Vain means for nothing, for no good reason, right? And deceit means trick, lies, falsehood. Okay, what else is this philosophy? Give me some more. After the tradition of men. It is after the tradition of men. It ain't worth nothing nowhere but in some man's mind, right? And in the minds of those that he is able to persuade. You see that? Read on. After the rudiments of the world. After the rudiments of the world. So it don't matter if he take this whole world over with that philosophy and this vain deceit, right? What's gonna happen in the end? And not after Christ. Clubhouse, not after Christ. So Christ gonna slam it on the brakes, right? When he get to that throne, baby. That mean it's all gonna go out the window when they stand before that big golden throne, huh? That mean that man and everybody he persuaded wasted their whole life, huh? That mean they hustled and worked and traveled and bled and sweated and cried and overcame hurdles, triumphed and saw false victories, right? And all of that over these worthless antiques, right? And new trends or whatever it was. They did all of that in vain, didn't they? You see that? This is how they end up telling Christ in Matthew 7:22 all the worthless things that they done in his name, right? And Christ gonna be like, nah, huh? Get away from me. They gonna find out at that judgment that they ain't worthy or welcome, ain't they? Okay, that's philosophy. So this is why scripture is so important. Yeah, your philosophy sound nice and all of that, but if you can't show it to me in this book, then I can't do nothing with it. If you ain't that householder that could go back there in your stash and bring me out a jewel according to this book, then I can't do nothing with it. Am I like, what? Looking at it in your hand like, what is this? Show me where this is worth something to my God, the creator of me and this earth that I live in. Show me where he said this is worth anything, son. How can we confirm for ourselves that anything that any man is telling us is worth anything? Let's go to it. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of thy power. Nah, the book of your mother. Of thy power. Nah, of your pastor. Of thy power. Seek ye out of the book of the Most High your power and do what? And read. And read. Nah, just follow your heart. And read. Nah, just let our brother Bronze tell you about it. And read. And read. Okay? You got to get it out the book. That's how you either confirm or deny. No one of these shall fail. None of us who lean on this book of a higher will fail. He gonna bring them worthless coins out the back, right? And we gonna laugh him to scorn, huh? Ah, brother, these right here ain't worth nothing right here. Cause you studied up, you know better. No, this is not approved, huh? None shall want her mate. None shall want her mate. Who is her? Wisdom, ain't it? Rawak Kodah, your mind. Okay, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? It's female. The precious thoughts of your mind. And who is her mate? The masculine Most High, ain't it? So the thoughts of your mind have to be espoused to a husband, her mate, the Most High. You see that? Can you imagine a woman out